If your hips are tight or your back is stiff, then try this mobility routine that fixes both. The inchworm to cobra stretch is a great stretch for the hamstrings, the hip flexors, the abs, and the entire body. It's a dynamic movement. That's one that will cause you to warm up a little bit, which actually improves your flexibility in the moment, but it also just wakes you up. Oh. We're gonna go 3 sets of 6 reps here. Try to get a big stretch every rep, nice and controlled. Take your time with it if you have to. It's okay if this is a little challenging for you right now. It's supposed to be. I'm gonna go one more. It's hitting the lower back. It's hitting all of this. I'm gonna sink in this one a bit. And I'm gonna stretch out. All right. Whew. Now we're gonna go into the overhead lunge reach. So we're gonna do a basic lunge, and we're also gonna reach up to the sky, and then come back, and then do the other side. Try to get as low as you can, with that back leg as straight as you can, and reach up for the sky. 3 each side here. Last one. Big lunge, reach, 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 and then come back up. Ooh, that's gonna open up the hip flexors, the upper back a little bit. That feels great. 3 reps each side. Now we're gonna go into the lateral lunge. What is it? Oh yeah. Now we're gonna do the lateral lunge with a T-spine rotation. So we're gonna lunge to the side. We'll start at center, lunge to the side, and we're gonna reach down to the ground. If you can reach the floor, great. If not, you can grab your foot or however low you can get. Start at the ankle, and you're gonna twist up. And then we're gonna come back up to the center. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. We're gonna lunge down, we're gonna reach, and we're gonna twist. And then we're gonna come back to the center. Probably gonna find that one side is tighter than the other. That's okay. Last one. And then, whew. That's a lateral lunge with T-spine twist. This is a deep squat with a banded rotation. So we're gonna go into a deep squat position. We're gonna reach for the ground. All you need is a very light band for this. We're gonna put our knuckles with the band on the ground, and then we're gonna try to open up as wide as we can. Open up. And really try to pry your body open, all right? We're gonna go for 30 seconds in the deep squat, and then 5 rotations with the band, all right? So this is gonna be pretty challenging, y'all. Here, deep squat. 1. 1. 2. 2. 3. Almost halfway. 4. All right, so that's 30 seconds, but I'm gonna finish my 5th rep. And then you can come out of it. We're gonna take maybe like a 30-second rest and we'll do another set. The half kneeling windmill is going to be both a strength and mobility routine, or exercise I should say, just like the previous one. I only have a 3-pound dumbbell here in the house. This is what we're gonna use for now. But essentially what we're going to do is get into a half lunge, half kneeling lunge like so. We're gonna take this and put it in the same hand of the leg that we have forward, and we're gonna extend it like this. Now with the opposite hand, we're just going to try to keep this weight up in the air and reach for the ground below us, and then come back up. We're gonna do 5 reps here. Now there's 2 different ways to overload this movement. Either heavier weight, you can use like a heavy kettlebell. If you don't have a kettlebell or a weight, you can just have your arm up in the air. And the other way to progress is to try to get lower to the ground. So instead of reaching just a hand, you can fight and fight to getting your elbow down. Woo! Now that's gonna require a lot more mobility and is much, much tougher. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna do 5 reps total. I'm gonna try to get my elbow to the ground even though I can't, just to show y'all, you don't have to be perfect. Just go as low as you can. Try to keep that. That's all I got right now. Woo. That's 1. We're gonna shoot our hips back and try to get that elbow to the ground. That's 2. Even with a 3-pound dumbbell, I am sweating. That's 3. 4. 1 more. Whew. That's 5. And if you have both legs, first of all, you better thank God you do. And second of all, you can't skip out on the other side. So let's get right into that one. I have a feeling that this one's gonna be way tighter for me. So, we're gonna reach back. We're gonna try to get that elbow to the ground. No shot I can reach. That's okay, we'll count that as 1. I wanna actually look up at the hand that is holding the weight as well. That's as low as I can get. That's 2. This side feels much tighter. You're probably gonna have one side that feels tighter than the other. That's okay. That's 3. I got the elbow on the ground that time. That's progress. And then we're gonna go 4. Come on. There you go. 4. And you'll find as you continue with the reps, as the tissue gets warmed up and you get a little bit of blood flow and a pump, it'll start to open up for you. So you can actually get a deeper range of motion as you go further into the sets. Whew, that's 5. We'll take about a 30-second rest and we'll do it again. All right, so we're gonna do a slightly elevated pigeon with reach. So pigeon pose is where you bring your knee out in front of you like this, put it on the floor. So we're gonna elevate this knee, which will make it a little bit easier. I'm using a yoga block here. You could also use a bench or the couch, but I can't really film that, so I'm just using this, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're going to try to sink into this hip. I know hip, it sounds counterintuitive because we're stretching the right side, but I want you to think of sinking the left hip to the floor. And what we're gonna do to help that is we're gonna do 5 reaches. We're gonna reach overhead like so and across. That's 1. 2. Every time you reach, I want you to try to take some of that weight away from the support hand and let it sink into the glute and the hammies of the front leg. That's 3. And I'm reaching. 4. 1 more. 5. All right, and we'll do the other side. Preferably you should use like a like a foam yoga block. I'm using a cork one, and it does not feel the best on my knee, but that's okay. All right, we'll go 5 reaches. 1, 2. Oh yeah, this one is so much tighter. And I'm sinking into it. I'm trying to pick my left hand up a little bit, remove some pressure. I'm gonna exhale and reach as far as I can. 1 more. Reach. 30-second rest, and we'll go again. The supine wall shoulder flexion move is simply putting your back, more specifically making sure your lower back is in contact with the wall, and simply raising your arms up while maintaining that contact. What we're thinking of is we're reaching for the ceiling above us, but we're also trying to get it as far back behind us as we can. And we're just gonna hold this position for 2 minutes, thinking of reaching for the ceiling the entire time and reaching back against the wall also. Now, it doesn't seem like much, but you can already hear it in my voice. If I'm mentally thinking of reaching for that ceiling and pushing back, my back muscles and my shoulders are gonna start to get pretty fatigued. And that's what we want. We're trying to get used to and building endurance of these upper back muscles that are used to keep our shoulders in a safe position. If you need to shake it off after a little bit, shake it off, and then you can come right back into it. You can also play around with reaching up and depressing the shoulder blades. Reaching up and depressing. Reaching up, just find what feels most challenging to you and mess around with that to strengthen it up where you feel weakest. Ooh. 30 more seconds to go. Make sure that lower back maintains contact and reach. And I'm trying to internally rotate. That's why I have my hands neutral like this to fight for that internal rotation. All right, that's 2 minutes. Woo! Again, doesn't look like much, but the fatigue will start to kick in. Let's move on. All right, now we've got the standing hip openers, also known as hip cars, controlled articulated rotations. You're gonna use the wall just for balance and also to make sure that you're not super leaning your torso this way or super leaning your torso this way. So the wall is meant to balance and keep you as upright as possible while you take your hips through the entire range of motion. So we're gonna think knee to the sky, and then we're gonna start to open up. And as we're gonna keep thinking knee to the sky, knee to the sky. As we come right here to about this same angle as our body, we're gonna start thinking heel to the sky. As we go to the back, heel to the sky again. I'm trying to stay as upright as possible. You don't have to be perfectly upright, but you do want to make sure to not be leaning excessively. So we're going knee to the sky, foot to the sky. Now both to the sky, and now heel to the sky. And again, doesn't seem like much, but you can probably hear it and see it in my face. This is working all the really small muscles that are neglected in the body, and all that heavy lifting that we do, and then sitting stiffens us up. Ooh, need to take a second to reset. We're gonna do the right side now. 5 reps, as high as we can. Open it up, start rotating, heel to the sky. We're gonna open it back up, come back down. 1, 2, 3. I promise you, if you're intentional about this, not only is it gonna be challenging right now, it's gonna be so worthwhile. And all your lifts and your day-to-day, reducing pain, making you stronger in the gym. Oh, that's what it's all about. One more rep. I gotta shake it off for a second. It's all right to shake it up, you guys. You don't have to be perfect. All right, come on. Yep. I can feel my hip muscles cramping. Whew, that's 5. This is the banded tricep and lat stretch. If you were at the gym, I would prefer you to anchor your band on the post of the squat rack. I would say somewhere about knee height is probably good. Maybe you can get away with hip height depending on the band that you're using. Now you can see that I'm using a thicker band than the small light orange one that I was doing for rotations. We want this one to be a little bit thicker, but don't go crazy. And if you find that it's too much, like it's too much of a stretch for you to handle, it's totally fine to reduce the thickness of the band to make it a little bit easier until you can progress. Now, I am not at the gym, so I don't have a post to put this on, so what I'm gonna do is a different way, and again, this way is actually, in my opinion, a little bit harder to get into position, so you might wanna use a little bit of a lighter band here. Either way, we're gonna go 1 minute hold each side for this stretch, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put my hand through here, so now it's looped on, and I'm gonna grab it like so, and I'm just gonna sit my heel into this, into the band. Start my timer, and I'm gonna kind of twist up like so. And now it's just yanking on my hand, all right? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna try to lean forward and just open up my whole chest to the sky, let my wrists and everything relax. This is one where you wanna just breathe into it. It's probably gonna be pretty extreme. Again, this foot method is a little bit tougher. So use a thinner band if you have to, okay? Like this is pretty intense even for me. But if I can control my breathing, then I'm okay and I can kind of sit through the discomfort. Big thing is try not to look up too much, try not to crank your neck down, try to keep it pretty neutral. Just let the lats release, the triceps release. You may even feel it into your chest and your delts. And that's time. So I'm just gonna kick my heel up, and now it's done. And we'll do the other side. That's pretty intense. I'm about to find out if this other side can even do it with this band. Okay. Boom. Start my timer. Get into position. Trying to open up and just breathe into it. So much easier said than done, I know. All right, it's a minute. Ready to come up. Woo! That's pretty challenging. I don't know if you guys saw there, but one thing I do want you to focus on is, oh, sorry, Bo, is not to hyperextend that lower back thinking that you're opening the chest up more. That's why I like to step through. When I step through, I'm squeezing this through. I'm not just going here, I'm squeezing this glute through, and that's gonna help keep that lower back from hyperextending so much, and it'll target the lats a little bit more in the triceps rather than just cranking on your lower back. So I totally lied in the last clip. I just did not feel like coming out to the garage, but I forgot that I had programmed dead hangs for the end of this workout. So I don't have a pull-up bar for the door, but we do have a little squat rack out here. So we're gonna do some dead hangs out here. We're gonna go for 2 minutes. I'm putting chalk on my hands. I would recommend you could use your straps if you're really not worried about grip strength, but I want to develop some more grip strength, so I'm just gonna chalk up and use, my grip to hold me up. We're gonna go for 2 minutes. So I'm just gonna set a timer for 2 minutes. when my grip gives out, or if you're wearing straps and you're like, man, this is just really uncomfortable, again, you don't have to stay perfectly doing this shit for the whole 2 minutes. You can come off, shake it off a little bit if you have to, catch your breath, and then just get back on for the remainder of the time. So that's exactly what we're gonna do here. And I'm gonna try not to get absolutely eaten by mosquitoes, man. It's already happening. Not fitness related, but what the hell's up with all these like monstrous mosquitoes in Connecticut this year? It's crazy. So I'm just gonna hang. Now, I'm a little too tall for this, so my feet are actually gonna be touching the floor, but my whole goal is to make my legs like dead. I'm trying to let gravity really just extend my spine, stretch me out after everything we just did. We're constantly getting compressed because we're standing, we're sitting. So it's good to hang a little bit and decompress the spine. Something you could do is put your feet up on a bench like this too. Okay. Oh, it's 2 minutes right there. Oh. Woo. And that is it. That is the mobility routine. If you would like a written copy of the routine, all you gotta do is send me a DM on Instagram saying mobility, and I'll send it over your way for free. Bro, these fucking mosquitoes are insane, bro. They're like super mosquitoes. They're literally biting me through my shirt. Let's go inside. This is done. Now, if you want a more custom approach, then make sure to apply with the link in the description and join the Silverback Strength team, where I will personalize your training programming, your mobility routine to make sure that you can do this for longevity and be strong for the rest of your life, as well as give you nutrition guidance to help you lose the weight that you've always wanted to lose, or potentially build the muscle that you've always wanted as well. Again, just hit the link in the description below, and we at minimum will get on a free strategy call to make sure that you're heading in the right direction. As always, guys, thank you so much for the support. I would really appreciate if you could drop a comment below with what kind of videos you want to see next. We have a couple more mobility routines to offer y'all, because I really do believe that mobility like this is super important to keep you healthy and be able to train like an athlete long term. And I don't know if it's just me, but I love being strong, but I also want to feel great out of the gym and be able to do this for a very long time. I want to do this for the rest of my life, so I would hope that you guys do too. So yeah, I appreciate y'all. Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one.